Drinking Buddies. This episode is all about Evan Williams. We're doing a shelf versus allocated versus unicorn versus Dusty. Let's go.
I'm your drinking buddy.
So I've been doing a series where I take a shelf and allocated and a unicorn, and I put them blind to see which one's the best. So far, unicorns haven't won anything. But the last episode I did, I had a Dusty. My good friend Jim loaning me another Dusty. And so here we go. We have another shelf versus allocated versus unicorn versus Dusty. So for our shelf, I went with 1783. This is Evan Williams small batch. It's 90 proof. For our allocated, I went with Evan Williams Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, single barrel vintage. This guy is almost 10 years old. This one is Evan Williams 12-year, 101 proof, Japanese release. This one is definitely the hottest. It's got the most proof on it, so it'll be really interesting. That's our unicorn. And then last up, our Dusty is this Evan Williams. This is the black label. It's 86 proof, and it's from 2006. So like 17 years this whiskey has been sitting in this bottle. This could be really fun. This could be really cool. And I'm really excited. I say we dive right in. Ooh. I like the nose right off the bat. So bright and this one's really bright and citrusy on the nose. With just like a subtle funky thing that I would call like wet books. Or like an old wet stump. I really like this nose actually. Peanuts, caramel, cinnamon, nutmeg. I think that's this guy because it's really good. It's really solid. Oh, well, I thought that nose was good. Oh, this is a really nice nose. This is oak and caramel. Subtle hint of dark chocolate. And like toast okay, this is oddly specific, but that's where we're at right now. Toast with just like some peanut butter smeared on it. That has got some great fruit notes coming off of it. I would call it it's like stone fruit, like apricot and peach. That's peanut butter comes through on the finish, but it's not there on the palate. Oak and the brown sugar and caramel again. Okay, I'm really learning right now that I like Evan Williams' nose. The bottle that I'm most familiar with is the white label Bottled and Bond. And to be perfectly honest, it's a great bottle for its price, but I find it a little bit overrated because I find that people put it in the same category as things like Buffalo Trace and Wild Turkey 101. And even, Four Roses single barrel, put it in that category of like nice shelf bottles. And I just find it falls short compared to those personally. It's still a good bottle, but it's just, for me, not as good as those bottles. And another one, Early Times Bottled and Bond. I just like it more. So generally, I haven't bought it in a while because of that, but the noses today are showing me that I like the nose on Evan Williams. This is more dusty. This is more old books, leather shoes, cigar box. That's peanut butter and caramel, oak and charcoal. Charred oak for sure on here. Not something that I pick up a lot on the younger stuff, but yeah, that's got a charcoal flavor going on. Huh. Yeah, I can't say that I like that as much as 2. Okay, another quality nose. Bright, citrusy, caramel, subtle peanut. That's really heavy on peanut flavor. Peanuts, peanut butter, peanut crackers, peanut soap, peanuts, all the peanut things that have ever existed. This tastes exactly like George Washington Carver. This one is the flattest for me compared to the rest, just because I'm just getting that one note. I'm not getting a lot more. There's some caramel, there's some vanillas here, but I'm really only getting that one note of peanut butter, peanuts. Whereas these 3, there's just a lot more going on. So this one's already kind of taken a step back from the rest personally, but let's go through them again. And once we're done with that, we will try to make a few guesses, pick our favorite, and we will see if the shelf beat the unicorn. Well, there's a lot of good news going on here, drinking buddies. I think I got a clean sweep because I think I have identified something about each of these that tells me which bottle is which. And I also think that another unicorn has lost. Okay, so let me walk you through this here. This has got a subtle peanut thing with some age going on it, and it's got a familiar taste to me. I think this is the Evan Williams single barrel for that reason. This one here has got a lot of oak. It's got the highest proof flavor going on, and the only one that's 100 proof or more is the 12-year that's 101 proof. This is the highest proof. It's got the most age on it, the most oak on it, and so therefore I think this is the 12. This one tastes dusty. It tastes old. It tastes like it's lost some proof. It tastes lower proof. It's definitely the most light on flavor as far as proof goes, and it's screaming. It's been sitting in the bottle for a while. It's great. That's my winner. And then last up here, this one is just so peanut forward. It's so one note, and I feel like that's the odd man out, and I think that's going to be our small batch here. Small batch, right? Yeah, 1783 small batch. Not my jam. This is not one I will buy again. But I've always been a big fan of these Evan Williams single barrels. That's something to buy again. The 12-year, I know it's a Japanese only release, but if you're an Evan Williams fan, that's one I think you should probably hunt. And then, man, this Dusty. I think this is the Dusty. Like I said, I only think. I should stop talking like I know what I'm talking about, because whenever I do, I get myself in trouble. It's probably wrong about all of this. Let's find out how right I am. Let's go least favorite first. Okay, 1783. Next up, probably this one, yeah. Single barrel. Oh man, did I sweep it? Did I sweep it? My second favorite was, yes, well, this is what happens when I try to do this and I narrow things down, and I'm so confident. I was so right about these two, and I totally flopped these two. A unicorn finally won. This tastes the lightest on proof out of the four, and it's the highest. It tastes old and dusty, like it's been sitting on a shelf forever. That's because it's been sitting in a barrel for 12 years. I guess now that I know that that's the lightest proof, well, these are the same proof, but this one's lost proof because it's been sitting in a bottle longer. Now that maybe it hasn't lost that much proof with this plastic cap on it and sealed up with plastic. Who knows? A cork is going to let out some of that alcohol, not a lot of it, but some of it will escape. But can it escape through a plastic cap? I don't know. That's a good question. Scientists out there, I'm sure several of you guys follow my channel. What's the answer to that ridiculous question? But yeah, now that I know that this is the lightest proof, makes sense, but it does taste really old. And here's another thing that I noticed when I was going through them a second time. These two are darker in color, and these two are kind of lighter in color, which is interesting because as far as time spent in barrel, these are the two old ones. So this should be darker in color than this, but it wasn't. I almost switched my guesses just purely based on color, and I'm like, no, that's not right. I'm going off of flavor. Thank you, Jim, for the Dusty that I could use for this video. Thank you to Brooks, who gave me the sample of the 12-year. I got to give you a shout out on this one, purely because you finally gave me a unicorn that has won. Shelf versus allocated versus unicorn. So I even threw in a Dusty here to try to beat it, and I couldn't do it. Evan Williams 12-year. That is a unicorn to hunt. That's our first unicorn winner, drinking buddies. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.